been finding it hard to see the good lately. I couldn't tell you exactly why, but there are days when I am filled with fear. Maybe it always was. Or maybe that's just what this world does. Or maybe it's just that they've got names for these things now, but wow. I am becoming afraid of everything. Of the work, of the weather, of the next thing that they're going to tell you, of whether I got it right or not, or whether I even missed the start, and my heart has not slowed down in a long time. And this is the part where I'm going to tell you that everything's going to be okay. I'm finding it harder and harder to say these days. Finding it harder to see what I saw that time that the light made it in. I'm finding it hard to see the good lately. Even though I promised I would always try. And there you are. With that face. And that smile. And that untouched joy. And for a while at least, it all falls away like something that I saw once and can't really remember until you show me the photograph. And that's it, right? That smile, that joy, that fullness of heart that comes not just from being happy, but from a place far deeper inside, called out by something far bigger than you or I, or as simple as this life. And I will use this moment to shout about it, call it out in you, in me, in this life, and name it as joy, and use it to dance with everything that has died, just for us to make it this far, and let it affect everything that's getting in the way, because there is a lot of stuff that's getting in the way, and let it trickle down on everything that I have seen, because in this life, believe me, I have seen some things. As much as I would love for it not to happen, you will see some things too, things that don't fit with what you hold to be true. So for that moment, my prayer for you is this. My rain dance, my warrior cry, my everlasting is this world will see you too. Smiling, holding on to that joy. Not just because this world is a happy place, but because there is a power in your joy. There is a redemption in your grace. There is an abnormal hope at work. So please hold tight to this joy. Let it ruminate in your heart. Tell it to everyone that you see, making sure that they know where it comes from. Draw maps on the backs of beer mats to make sure they know how to find it, because there is still a song to be sung in temples and in bars and in foyers and in parks, and it begs to be sung, because there's still a joy to be found in everything. And it takes simple things, small things, like holding a hand, caring for the earth, marching for what's not right, like being silent sometimes, like sometimes not being silent, like making a change however small it may be. Because I've seen the hope that new life can bring to freedom fighters in war-torn places. In fact, I heard a story once of a pastor who held a blessing ceremony for his newborn baby in the street. Where he lived, he invited everybody, those in the margins, the hopeless, the homeless, the ones that the world had left out, everybody. And as the baby was passed around, hand to hand, something was given back, that which was taken. People were reminded that there is still a joy to be found in all things. And more these days, I'm finding it easier to see the good and find the joy.
The mind itself is a rowdy top deck, so I have no problem dipping into Walcott despite the ruckus down back, kids giggling, build up, scream crescendo causing mum to clutch flip phone to mountainous bosom, shut up your noise. Our eyes will us outside, to pluck ripeness from fruit and veg vistas, to be by the small booth, international phone cards, watch straps, next to the crouching cellar, to know economics, what's busting from those speakers causing that odd rocking jaw clenching, rolling on. Past a 24-hour bagel shop, so much time, so few bagels. Past the flapping banner of the Worldwide Power Church Ministries of Jesus International. The Lord is my accountant, I shall not declare. Past the curiously named mixed blessings bakery. Strong hands do not do irony. Irish bars, steadfast as failure, dark doors swallowing the bookie's flotsam, whack for the daddy-o, plus a few remaining occupied flats of the Haygate estate. We're improving your area, we need you to leave. My eyes return to Tertzarima, sea almonds, bougainvillea. The littlest one screams again, and then the slap.
Man down, it's that youth from the ghetto. He's seen too much of this life, now it hurts him inside. That juvenile delinquent dreams of being fat, so he frequents roadside banquets where souls are stripped whole in an instant. He's trying to build homes by filling holes like his pocket. And if you try stop it, he be filling holes through your body. Threats of a young mind shooting off what he's been taught is only right. Known by his derelict conditions. A state of life that gives certitude that our hands have been bitten by those who are meant to be serving you, these Serbia's politicians, making surplus on our income. So how can you blame him for taking the B road, breaking his back for sea cats? He'll be at where the green goes, frequently like a Mexican crop farm where you barely see in a yimbo. Taken from his people, still someone's taken from his people. These street soldiers who climb countless boulders only to be told these pebbles that you're pushing get you 4 years probation. He's out now, sees his boys in the corner, told him to look for a coroner. There's another man down, man, they've taken your brother. Man down, it's that youth from the ghetto. He's seen too much of this life, now it hurts him inside. He played his hand, now his house of cards come tumbling down. Because when the deck gets split, only the jokers are left around. If you're not serious about the game, you get played just the same. His brother was only affiliated by name, the same one engraved on a stone of pain. The situation was plain, someone had to pay. Because when it's an eye for an eye, lives have exchanged. Information gets passed, now they know his name. Now they know his face, now they know his place. Knock him out vacant, now they wait. Just another cliche, the view from the six must be a big figure eight. A cycle of thought reinforced when he sees the portrait. On it, a mum, a dad and 2 sons. One with a face that instills in a mate, and the other that will soon know that same fate, that stale taste of cold revenge. And suddenly you want no more of this plate. No more would he partake in this feast of lives. So that night, when he took a life, he took the only one in which he had the right. Man down, silly little youth from the ghetto. He saw too much of this life, and now it could end your life.
Don't snog in front of me. Being the only other person at this bus stop, I find it rather uncomfortable. I feel like splitting you two up and telling that in a couple of years you'll hate each other. And just the thought of his hand upon your skin will make you cringe. And you, mister, yes, you'll be drinking and screwing girls you can't look down upon because you feel empty and frustrated like everyone else on this shit-awful planet. And at some point, you'll bump into one another, and you'll feel really uncomfortable because you won't remember why you got together in the first place. But still, you'll be jealous of her boyfriend, gawking like a cocker spaniel next to her. So when you get home, you'll text some girl hoping for some phone sex, whilst across town in some seedy bedsit, she'll be doing it for real. Don't worry, son. She'll feel dirty and unsatisfied, just like you. And after a few more years, you could be married to different people. But when you're feeding your cherry blossom kid or waxing your vastly expensive car, you'll soon realise that your marriage isn't as exciting as that moment beneath the bus stop. And you'll do anything, absolutely anything, to be there again.
The revolution is a teenage girl. For every teenage girl activist. Girls sound like birds when they laugh. It angers men to hear it. They're so afraid to not know what we're laughing at they throw stones until we scatter. But we know the sharpness of milk teeth, how it's all the better to bite back with. We're coming for you, because that crown looks better on us. They say we're too young to know anything. So why are we old enough to know how to hide when a shooting comes to our schools? How men eat our bodies whole, serve as death like we ordered it. How this world burns while they crush coal, spit diamonds, count coins and let us eat chaos. We are terrified. They are the monsters under our beds. They've sent us to more funerals than birthday parties. No one taught us how to carry this world, but we have to take it from them. We have to. We're building rebellions in our bedrooms over pizza and pop music, and somehow we're still laughing. Because girls sound like birds when they laugh. And when you hear bird song, you know dawn is coming.
Have you ever been hugged by a black woman? Arms so tight around body, smelling like whatever ingredient they use to overcome adversity. When a black man calls you sister, it is a reminder that we are part of something bigger, something loving, something unconditional. We have this gift where we can create magic from the most minimal amount of ingredients in the kitchen, where we can create laughter where detriment appears to be the only joke. And in times of despair, just mix in some melanin and the outcome's hope. We laugh like we deserve to, like we are free. From the tops of our heads to the pits of our bellies. And no, this isn't about struggle or anguish or low self-esteem. This is about how my mum can make a pot for 4, feed 16. This is about my nan asking me to get the ting from the ting and knowing exactly what she means. This is about joy, about being broke but never being broken. This isn't about silver spoons and wide open doors. This is about feeding ourselves or kicking doors open. This is about Sunday dinners. Macaroni, cheese, and 3 different types of meat. This is about not having to explain why we need roast potatoes, white rice, and rice and peas. This is about not having to explain what oxtail is, even though that feels kind of self-explanatory. This is about calling everyone auntie and having no idea how they're family. This is about our legacy. And I'm not talking slave ships, athletes, or entertainers. This is about cataract surgery, 3D effects, blood banks, and creating magic from the shit that they gave us. This is about my hair as something that is curly and versatile and free. This is about my body, but not under ownership, as something that belongs to me. This is about soca and Afrobeats and not being able to help but to dance to the rhythm. This is about growing up, watching my parents slow wind at a party way past my bedtime, so slow that it requires precision. This is about the joy they would like us to forget that we have, or the happiness they would like us not to remember we possess. This is about black joy, black hope, black peace, and black love, and all the beauty that lies in my blackness.
Dear Professor Brian Cox, we love to watch you on the box. The wife and I have to confess, it's not just the science about which we obsess. That time when you explained the quark, you ignited a certain spark. Soon we were having thoughts obscene, whilst you described the selfish gene. We feel it timely to profess, we'd love to meet you in the flesh. Please forgive us if we say, we'd like to share some DNA. We'll explore this urge like an electronic surge. Our entanglement will be quantum. And the wife assures her celestial orbs can be yours whenever you want them. So Brian, think on, if you can, come along to our Big Bang. With sufficient frantic motion, we might find our own Higgs boson. And if our lust should make you weary, we could just discuss string theory. Now please Brian, don't be vexed, it isn't just about the sex. We view your mind with great respect. We wandered at the solar storms and the sludge where life first formed. We listened rapt as with aplomb, you explained the atom bomb. You made clear to the entire nation the principle of gravitation, the source of the rift in the continental drift, why planets circle the sun, how oceans formed, how life began, and the laws of cell mutation. Brian, we will always dote on that breathless way you explain the proton. Even if it's not to be, we can watch your DVD. You're on the television so much, we don't really have to touch. We can contemplate Uranus, hypothesize about black holes, explore that darker energy, flick with you from pole to pole. We'd have loved to see you quite content between our hypothermal vents. But if you say no, it could be worse. There's always a parallel universe.
There are a handful of people who, if I had more wisdom or was less easily distracted, could be living in my house, perhaps with our child. Instead, I watch them entwined with other men on family trips. It's strange to be jealous of choices you couldn't have made, of decisions you don't regret. But these quiet rooms deserve more than this.
You don't listen to podcasts? You should listen to podcasts. You can download them to your smartphone. How much storage do you have on your smartphone? You should have more than that. You should organise your phone better. Don't store music. That's what's taking up the space. You should stream. Streaming takes up no space. Do you read articles? You should read articles on your smartphone or your tablet. Do you have a tablet? Buy a tablet. One with storage, download some productivity apps. Do you write every day? You should, in your notebook or on your laptop, and you could save what you write in folders, and the folders could be labelled and organised, and you could write about what you read in the articles. Then it will be relevant. And you should film it on YouTube or put it on your blog. You do have a blog, don't you? Do you get things done? You should write lists of the things you want to get done on your smartphone or your tablet. Then you can tick them off when you do them. You should make time for yourself every day. Are you being mindful? Don't do anything tonight. Have a bath. But you should read the news, but also relax. There's a news app. You can get it on your smartphone, so you could read it in the bath while you do nothing. Or you could have it on iPlayer in the background. Or a podcast. You could have a podcast of the news on an app on your smartphone in the bath. Do you run? Do you cook? Do you make your own smoothies? Do you speak another language? Do you travel? You should travel more. You should go to Thailand or Europe. You can get language apps on your tablet. You could learn a language on your tablet in the bath. What did you actually do today? Have you updated your status yet? Have you called your loved ones? Have you Skyped? Have you retweeted enough? Have you shared a video? A smile? A flat white? Your feelings? Have you done your washing? Have you done your weekly shop? When was the last time you swam? When was the last time you changed the sheets? When was your last period? There's an app for that. Have you worn that shirt before? You should get a new one from the internet. You should be making your own lunch and bringing it to work in a Tupperware. You should be cooking fish at home and drinking soya milk. Did you vote? Do you have opinions? You should have opinions. You can get them on your smartphone. There's an app for that. Are you keeping up? Are you okay? Are you settling in? Are you happy? Are you backing up your documents? Are you in love? Are you listening to enough jazz music? Are you cycling safely? Are you discovering coffee shops? Are you making positive changes? Are you feeling better? Are you sure? Are you?
It's a madness out here, and I can't tell if I'm crying from the chill. I see battle lines drawn across side streets, and I see youths convinced they're dealing out justice, step out of line and get beat. Step across road, keep your eyes on your feet. And I usually close my eyes, but I wanted to see the churchyard, its ground all white with snow. And my face froze as I saw a man's nose get broke. A group of kids cracked him like a bad joke with these bald fists gripping bats and bars. And a car passed, driver just wielding his icy stare of disregard, thinking it's only dead men and screams of pain from boys who've already seen daddy's name on a graveyard. My words slipped out from under me, feeling unprotected and unsafe. Seeing young people killing for misplaced faith, fame or saving face, wearing these black balaclavas as fighting armour. Some were weeping with anger or terror. Others just shook where they stood or laughed emptily. Fear from behind pale skin peeking out from behind black cloth. I wrote my words in the deep snow around the man's head. And in the morning I stepped over the church gate, my body numb and shivering, these frozen fingers fumbling with flowers, offering a few more words for a grave and a name that seems familiar.
If I could have just one wish, I'd like to be a jellyfish, hanging in the water, stinging those who really ought to know not to swim near me. Jellyfish, 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 jellyfish. If I could be a sushi dish, I think I'd be some jellyfish, drizzled lightly with balsamic, tastes so good it's orgiastic. Jellyfish, 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 jellyfish. My friend Pete, who says things and leaves gaps of 23.5 seconds, said to me, Robert, you flobble and you wobble as you come down the stairs. You look just like a... jellyfish, 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 jellyfish.